Really? Izzy, Ogbeide, is that what you think is going on here? You think that these terrorists, the kidnappers, the bandits, you think they are terrorizing Tinubu? You really think they are making Nigeria ungovernable for Tinubu? Is that what you think is going on? You say, oh, Peter Obi is weak. If Peter Obi is president of Nigeria, that the terrorists, the bandits, they go use the IC shege, they go pursue and come out for office like they pursue Jonathan come out. Are you implying in any way that really these terrorists are so powerful, so organized, that they are terrorizing Tinubu? Tinubu does not know how to handle them. So they are making Nigeria ungovernable for Tinubu and the APC? Is that what you think is going on? There are two things you need to consider here. One, your remark about Peter Obi. Before you say that statement again, and you need to revisit that statement, that Peter Obi will not be able to handle the insecurity. You need to go back to what Peter Obi did as governor of Anambra State. You need to consider the security situation before Peter Obi came, and then consider the security situation after Peter Obi left. That's one. Second, who brought these terrorists, these bandits, who brought them into Nigeria? You need to answer this question. And it is important that you answer this question. Because if you answer this question honestly and clearly, that statement you made, that insinuation that these terrorists are making Nigeria ungovernable for Tinubu, you will look at that statement again. It is there for all to see by confession statements, right? That APC brought these bandits in. Correct. In 2014, the reason for bringing the bandits in was to make Nigeria ungovernable for Jonathan. Correct. And because Jonathan was weak, he still is very weak. Till today, this is the only presidential candidate that was screened in absentia. Even Tinubu was not screened in absentia. Till today, nobody is sure whether Jonathan will run or whether Jonathan will not run. He is that weak. So yes, in 2014, he was too weak to act. And the opposition then, represented by APC, remember, the whole opposition was represented by APC. They succeeded to bring in these bandits, these terrorists, to make life difficult for Jonathan, to make Nigeria ungovernable for Jonathan. And they didn't hide it. Buhari himself said it with his mouth. And we saw the results. So we must not lose track of who brought these bandits in. The APC. And Tinubu cannot distance himself from it. Because Tinubu is APC. Now, after they succeeded and they won, there was no need for the bandits anymore to make Nigeria ungovernable if their sole intent was to gain power. But guess what happened? Under the 8 years of Buhari, their modus operandi changed. Their motives changed. It was no longer, oh, we want to gain power. Now it was what was clearly an Islamization agenda. And there are so many evidence to prove it. From what people like Commodore Omawumi, retired, said on Channels TV concerning what happened at the NDA, from what General T.Y. Danjuma said about the military colluding And from different testimonies, from different strikes of these terrorists, it was clear that there was an Islamization agenda. So yes, these terrorists may have come in to make Nigeria ungovernable for Jonathan. Right now, is that what they are doing to Tinubu and the APC? The agenda has changed from making Nigeria ungovernable to Islamization agenda, right? It has moved from Islamization agenda, even though that is still there, to pure corruption and wickedness. What is going on right now cannot go on without the backing of people high up in Tinubu's government. So it will be a big mistake and a big miscalculation, a big misreading of the situation to say that, oh, and the terrorists, they are making life difficult for Tinubu. They are not making life difficult for Tinubu. They are running Tinubu's agenda. And why will I say they are running Tinubu's agenda? Tinubu can snap his fingers, give orders to the Nigerian security agencies, and in 24 hours, Boko Haram, these bandits, these kidnappers, these terrorists will be a thing of the past. He can. But there is one thing Tinubu is doing and the APC is doing that is sustaining these bandits. Aiding and abetting corruption. Nobody has aided and abetted corruption in the history of Nigeria the way Tinubu and the APC have aided and abetted corruption. And check it. It is this corruption that is responsible for the insecurity that we are experiencing today. It is not because the terrorists have bigger guns than government. Or you still think that? You know, many Nigerians have been overwhelmed by this narrative. So I will ask, do you think that truly the insurgents, the terrorists, the Boko Haram, the bandits, the kidnappers, do you think that they have bigger guns than the Nigerian government? Oh, we have heard stories like, oh, they are better equipped. They are better equipped. Do you really think they are better equipped? Or is it that there are people high up in government that are defending these terrorists? And if there are, why would they be doing it? It is simple. Money. Money. Over 4 trillion naira budgeted for the Nigerian military. The question you should ask is, how much was disbursed? What is the budget performance of the Nigerian military? Very small. But guess what? The Office of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria, under Nuhu Ribadu, they are getting over 100%. If it's over 100% today, it will even be good. Over 200, over 300% of their budget. Who does that? Who? You budget 100% for a particular year, but you get over 300%. That is purely illegal. But they can hide behind insecurity to say, oh, we needed to spend the money. And the people that need it the most, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, to get weapons, you won't give it to them. What does that tell you? Does it look like really that the bandits are terrorizing Tinubu? If you think at it like that, then you make the mistake of choosing a Sowore over a Peter Obi. Peter Obi is miles ahead of Sowore. And this is not to discountenance the contribution of Sowore, my dear Izzy, Ogbeide. I must give you this credit because at least you, as a Nigerian in diaspora, have been bold and brave enough to come out and give reasons why you're not supporting Peter Obi, you're not supporting Atiku, you're not supporting Tinubu, and you're supporting Sowore. Now, as a supporter of Peter Obi, you would think that I will come and be attacking you. No. People make mistakes of thinking that, if you're not supporting Peter Obi, obedience will attack you. No. It is, and it stands to reason. Only people who live abroad, only Nigerians in diaspora that come out to say they're not supporting Peter Obi, they're not supporting Atiku, they're not supporting Sowore, they're not supporting any of the other candidates. The best candidate they see is Tinubu. My God, there is a particular guy in Germany. That guy's name is called OA. I don't know what that OA means. That guy is a devil. Devil, Satan. If you see snake and you see that guy, tackle that guy first. He's more dangerous than snake. A Nigerian living in diaspora that says Tinubu is doing well, they come up with all manner of fake statistics to defend Tinubu, yet they are still in Germany. They will not relocate back to Nigeria. What kind of hypocrisy is that? Even Tinubu has abused them. Tinubu has, in fact, in the last speech Tinubu made on Democracy Day, he still abused those Nigerians that are living in diaspora, that they should come back home. Now you say you are a supporter of Tinubu, you are in diaspora, you believe Tinubu is doing well, yet you will not relocate back to Nigeria. What kind of hypocrisy is that? Now, this is where supporters of Peter Obi have a problem. Because for you to be in diaspora and be supporting Tinubu, you have to be a wicked person and an unreasonable person. So there is no point giving a reasonable answer to such unreasonable person. No point. You need to go to their lives sometimes. They don't want to hear. You ask them for reason. Sometimes I even try to reason with them. And I said, okay, fine. These are the points. It will shock you how they will twist it. And I'm sorry I'm digressing here a little. We'll come back to you, Izzy. Wicked set of people. So, you cannot wake a man who is pretending to be asleep. Those kind of people, you can't reason with them. The only thing you can do is abuse them. Any Nigerian in diaspora that opens his mouth to praise and defend Tinubu and the APC, but refuses to relocate back to Nigeria, to come and enjoy the beautiful things that so-called Tinubu is doing, that Nigerian in diaspora is a wicked Nigerian, and it's not a reasonable. You cannot reason with such Nigerians. The only thing you can do is shake me funwani. That's the only thing you can do. No point, is useless reasoning with them. Now, you, Izzy, Ogbeide, I've observed your different posts of criticism about Peter Obi, and I can tell that you are sincere. The fact that you chose to support Sowore shows to me that you are sincere. But it also shows to me that you are sincerely wrong. My dear Izzy. It shows to me one of the reasons why it cannot be Sowore. Because the information you have, which is actually misinformation about Peter Obi, were some of the things, the narratives that Sowore came out to do, which are pure lies. And that I cannot give him credit for. I cannot hail him for it. Granted, I will always concede it if, as an opposition, a critic of Tinubu, if I am arrested tomorrow by Tinubu or the police, I know that Sowore will come to fight for my release faster than Peter Obi. I know it. If Peter Obi would do anything to be under the radar, he doesn't like the limelight in that lie. So Sowore has done a lot in that area. But you see, for Sowore to come out and push misinformation about Peter Obi, that is wrong. And it's a red flag. It is because of such misinformation now that you are now misrepresenting the fact to say that Peter Obi cannot act. You need to go and do small research. I will, because of you, do a research on this. So you won't say it is because it's election time, people are giving biased comments or commentary to defend Peter Obi. No. Go and find out what Anambra State was before Peter Obi came. Go and find out the way they were, whether or not they were kidnapping governors, whether Ngige was kidnapped or not, as a sitting governor. Oshomole came on air the other time to say, that even Edo was safer than Anambra. Peter Obi did not do anything. It was Obiano that came and started demolishing buildings of kidnappers. And I blame Shewon Kibaloye for that. They are lazy like that. They don't want to offend these politicians because of thank you for coming. They don't want to. So they don't do any due diligence, any live fact checking. The way you will have this guy, what's this guy's name now on this guy that interviewed Daniel Bwala. The way they do it on CNN, you can't see our Nigerian journalists do it like that. If not, they would have been able to tell Anoshomole and Nigerians that, look, it was Peter Obi that started it. It was Peter Obi that stopped the rascality in Anambra State. Peter Obi no be gentleman like that, oh. Peter Obi stubborn, oh. Forget his small, I go to Malaysia, forget that small voice, oh. Peter Obi stubborn, oh. Peter Obi faced bandits, faced kidnappers, and pursued them out of Anambra State. And this is not me saying it. Just Google it. Even the nation's newspaper at that time, a Tinubu allegedly owned newspaper, praised Peter Obi. They carried the news where the Inspector General of Police then acknowledged and recognized Peter Obi and Anambra as the state with the best security in 5 years. It's there. So Izzy, you are wrong on two fronts. One, you are wrong in assuming that the insecurity in Nigeria today is because bandits are making Nigerians ungovernable to Tinubu. No. Bandits are doing the bidding of Tinubu. It is corruption and political profits that they want to make out of the whole insecurity. So the only way to solve the insecurity that APC and Tinubu brought into Nigeria, that they used to make Nigeria ungovernable for Jonathan, but they used to try to push the agenda of Islamization under Buhari, but they are now using to make money for themselves. They have turned it into a business. Make money for themselves to hide behind, to spend security votes, and then use it to terrorize Nigerians so that they can come out and use it as political capital that they are working. To solve that insecurity, we need to vote out APC and Tinubu. But the solution, you are not seeing, because you are thinking that Peter Obi, now weak man. You're wrong. And for this, I blame people like Showore for pushing that wrong narrative. Showore cannot come and tell me that he does not know that Peter Obi worked. Showore's Sahara reporters is in this country during the 8 years of Peter Obi. Let them bring one report, screenshot it, one report of where kidnappers took over, where insecurity was the order of the day in the 8 years of Peter Obi. Let Showore bring it out. There is none. Instead, it is only praise and accolade for Peter Obi that you get. And Peter Obi is not a media person. So they get away with these narratives. So Izzy, I will say this to you. Two things I will say. One, don't make the mistake of thinking that it is difficult to deal with these terrorists. It's not. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the terrorists are making Nigeria ungovernable for Tinubu and the APC. They are not. The terrorists are actually, they are bold like they are because they know people high up in Tinubu's government, in APC, are behind them. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the person to replace Tinubu is Showore. No. they will eat Sowore up. It is somebody like Peter Obi they cannot eat up, because Peter Obi is a quiet, he's not reactionary. Best way they react like Sowore is easy to deal with. You will just know Sowore's strategy, and they will just put measures in place to counter it. But you see Peter Obi where they calm and calculated like that. Forget that small voice. The action they heavy. The kidnappers like Evans, they ran out of Anambra. They went to go and hide in Lagos, Tinubu's Lagos. That was where they were thriving now. Where did they catch Evans? Is it not in Lagos? So if there was a state where kidnappers were thriving, it was Lagos now. So the mistake you will make is to think that it's Sowore that will replace. No, it is a Peter Obi. Every of the position you have taken, the reason why you feel it's not Peter Obi, they are wrong. But there is something much more important. At least we agree on one thing. Tinubu needs to leave. But how can Tinubu leave if there's no free and fair election? So you, Izzy, and myself, we have a responsibility to make sure that 2027 election is free and fair. First, we leave the rest for the people to decide. If I'm able to win you with these few points that I've given in these arguments over to the side of Peter Obi, fine. If not, we meet at the polls. But that's if the polls are free and fair. So, question to you, Izzy. Would you support VoteWatch to make sure that the 2027 election is not riggable? I'll send you the link, or the link is in the description. Check it out. If it is something that you know, and I'm sure you'll be convinced, if it is something that you know will stop rigging in 2027, then let's talk about it. Because it is much more important than all this blaming that we are doing. You see, Peter Obi's records will speak for him. We'll talk about it more and more and more. But for now, VoteWatch is the way, the truth, and the life to free and fair elections in 2027. Check the link and sign up now.